then would you say that because suffering is worse in other countries than here, that Americans should be helping people from outside and not be helping Americans?
No, you should do both.
No.
First of all, like
fix your nation first.
When I see homeless people in this country, especially the older ones, I think it's because they're lazy.
It's not
because they're addicted to drugs.
It's not.
And
it's not.
No, that's all. It's always the case.
No,
Let me tell you something. Because look, the people that you see in the streets is because they decided to live in the street. They can go to the shelter.
They didn't decide that. Most of the people in the
if the
streets are
shelter is
depressed.
full, yeah, they sleep in the street sometimes. But if they have hands and fingers, legs,
saying,
if they have everything, they need to.
Yes,
exactly, because they're addicted to drugs. Oh,
that's not. You don't start out addicted.
Those
to
who
drugs.
have disease.
You start with drugs. Like most of the people that are homeless, first off, are like
they're not stable. Of course, they're not normal. Of course.
So for you to say they're just like they chose to do that, it's a state of mind.
There's more people it's in their hand for them to be homeless or not.
Not in their mind.
No,
homeless people.
There's a disabled program.
I have something to say.
Yes,
shelters don't. No, shelters only take a limited.
No, because I used to work around downtown, and I used to see a lot of homeless people, and these people are usually drunk all the time. They always cheat. They're diseased. Yes, exactly, and they can get treatment for free if they know where to look. And people, look. Every person that you see that's homeless, especially in in Baltimore and everywhere that you see, they're there because of the decisions they made. They have brothers, they have sisters. They gave up on them. You know what I mean?
But you don't know that.
No, it is.
No, people in America
they can have opportunities to succeed, and they're not using that advantage, and that's laziness. That's pure laziness. It is. It's being lazy. It's being.
Those people like the homeless in Ethiopia, they were here. Like they will use every advantage.
Yeah. It's because they didn't have it to begin with. That's the same thing with education here.
Get a job. You have a hand. You have fingers.
There are homeless people in America.
Do something. Dig a hole or something.
Okay, they're addicted to drugs, right? So okay, that is one of the main reasons, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching this documentary on women that are in Saudi Arabia, right? And they were basically focusing around women that are single parents. And they're going through the same exact thing that American people are going through right now, as far as drugs. They're addicted to it, and it's because there's you can give so many reasons why they're addicted to it.
That's not
the reason. The reason is after all this, and they are living in a country where they don't have a lot of opportunities as such. You know what I mean? They can't even feed themselves. They have so many struggles. They still have a roof on top of their head, and they're still providing for their kids. You know what I mean? So our response to this type of thing is there's no excuse. You can't keep giving yourself an excuse as to why you are living in a country. It is an excuse.
Okay, but what he said was, okay, all the homeless people who are homeless now are because they're lazy.
No.
That is wrong.
Listen, when I say
because they're lazy, it's just that they are not thinking far beyond
their
because they can't.
Yes, you can.
Because listen, you're saying it's because of their addiction, right? Addiction starts from using what? Not only let's just talk about one thing at a time. Okay, let's say you said addiction, right? That's one of the causes of being homeless, right? So how did they get addicted? Because they use drugs. They use drugs. Why?
Okay,
because
there's a biological basis for some people who get addicted to drugs.
It's the same thing for people that are in other
That's
countries.
very small.
No, it's different.
It is. There's so many people that are biological.
Yeah, the whole point is people here have more opportunities.
Yes,
and they're not taking full advantage of it, and that's why they become.
I feel sorry for them. Here, I can't look at a
But some people don't even know the advantages of America. The America you know is not the same America that they know. No, it's not the same. It's like two different Americas when it's like that.
The reason you know that you have all these opportunities is because
you've been taught you have these opportunities.
My parents never told me you have this opportunity.
No, the environment they put you in lets you believe that.
My parents told me this is it.
No, it doesn't have to be your parents.
Okay.
Right.
The schools you went to, first off, is not the same as schools they went to. They have like holes in their walls and.
It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something.
No, I'm not saying no.
A
But
guy-
you're not taught the same thing. You're not taught the same thing.
You're
not taught
excuses.
Yeah.
You're not.
uneducated.
If you're uneducated and you're 14.
For a 14-year-old, no.
How many 14-year-olds are gonna work at McDonald's?
How many Mexicans who can't even read English come here and work
No, there's less jobs.
the backyard of a Subway?
When you're 14 years
Right.
old, no.
So they can get jobs. They can get jobs.
You guys
They
are saying
can
it like,
survive.
okay, well, you're poor, go out and get a job.
Being a prostitute is a lazy choice.
Yes, because it's a lazy choice. Because
When
the
you're a
same girl that's prostituting
But say for
wants to
example,
make quick money, but doesn't want to work as hard. Well,
That's bullshit. That's
I
like
think that's one of the hardest jobs.
right. That's probably the most
it's
difficult.
hard right here, but
mentally,
it's not hard, you know.
I feel like that's probably the most like that's the rock bottom.
A prostitute who maybe lives in Kandahar or the red light district in India.
It's different.
How's that different? Why can't she just go out?
They don't have a lot of opportunities, Winnie. That's the whole point of this.
I think it's the same.
When you are in India, you can't get up.
Excuses, I think like.
No, you can't. No, I'm not giving him an excuse. It's wrong. Yes, it is wrong. You know what I mean?
It's
But they
unfair
don't
to
have-
them, though.
They
It's not-
can't get up and be like, let me go to McDonald's, I can get a job. They can't
Yeah.
do that.
Not everybody.
Look, prostituting is like selling drugs. You want to make quick
Who
cash,
are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Selling drugs,
you know,
is
by
easier.
doing something
work at
illegal.
McDonald's and make a living wage, right?
You can
No, but
survive
yes, they can. If you're a single person
But
and
what are they
you work
taught
for
is
$5 an
right.
hour, you can actually 40.
It's not excuse.
If you have
It's
4
like
children,
if
you
you're taught
didn't
dealing
plan your
drugs
life
is the
right.
way of life. If you're taught that's the way of life, what?
Yeah, you don't have 4 children when you don't have a job. Like,
If you don't have the
do you
money,
care about your
don't
kids?
have the money.
This is something people don't.
They're also okay.
have
That's the
taken.
same thing with AIDS in Africa. Then they just don't have sex. If you, I mean, Africans, it's their fault that they have AIDS. Because
educated,
why are they
they're
having sex and
educated.
they're just,
They're
they're just
uneducated
okay?
about
That's
it.
the same thing with here. They're uneducated about.
They're uneducated to have sex.
Yes, the kids that are having 14-year-olds, them little girls
If
and
you
all
see
that.
your parent and he's struggling, and you see their parents. And
Oh,
he's
okay,
single
same
mom
thing
and
with
he's struggling.
same thing with Africa. Oh, she's dying, but I'm still
Most of
gonna have
these
sex.
women- wait a
But I'm still
second,
gonna
wait
have
a
sex
second.
and I'm gonna
There's
get
a point to
AIDS.
this. Most of these women, most of the people that have AIDS in Africa are because they are raped. You do know that, right?
No.
I don't think.
No.
I don't think.
Where y'all
I
getting
don't think.
these
I don't think it's
statistics from?
most.
So many
but-
No,
research
it's not.
that is done.
It's-
The
okay,
women
people-
get AIDS because
They're raped.
First
No.
off, it's biological, and second off, it's
Yeah.
because they are being raped.
It's not. They're not. Everybody's not. This big widespread of AIDS is not because somebody's. I mean, a whole bunch of men are going out raping women and they have AIDS.
You have no idea.
No.
how
No,
much
I understand
men-
that.
It's not just raping.
I've studied that. No, I've seen it all with
No,
all
it's
the
not
little
just raping.
Holocaust.
Like, if you
It's
see
not.
that, it's-
Africans don't use. There's a
And
big
they don't have the money to
condoms.
okay, that's what you're saying. They don't have the money to provide sometimes.
No, there's
They
so
don't
many
have money to
condoms given
buy-
out for free in Africa, but people choose not to
Oh,
take them.
wow.
No, there are.
Please don't say that.
What did she say?
She said there's so many free
It wasn't
condoms.
Ethiopia.
given
No,
out.
I'm saying you.
I mean,
They don't know about.
decided
Okay, they don't know
not
about
to
AIDS.
distribute
They could just choose
condoms.
not to have AIDS. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's the same thing. They're not educated about it.
Like your parents get together, they have a baby.
Yeah.
I think that's something that.
I mean, think
every
about it,
kid-
like this-
most, I think they know. But,
No.
Like,
If you're a kid,
let me
you
tell
have
you,
to
like
show,
our
like-
parents, your grandparents probably had like 6 children at least, right? Or I don't know, my
12.
my grandparents
Okay, they had 12
had,
kids.
you know, 12 kids and stuff like that. I
They
mean,
could
my
raise them.
grandparent, mom, especially on my mom's side, they didn't have that much money, but they had all these kids,
Okay.
you know, and they
So it's
tried.
their
They
fault.
worked.
They should have known. Why did they have so many kids if they couldn't take care of them? It's like kind of like.
That was back in the days. I mean, you can teach people to.
No,
That's what
even
we
in
did.
Ethiopia, there's people having kids. You're homeless and you're having kids. Like, what's the point of that? Like, why?
more
Why are you so
kids you have
stupid?
in Ethiopia
No,
back in the
so
days.
you're begging. No, we're talking
Back
about
in the
now. We're
days.
talking about now. You're begging and you have kids. It's like.
You know why they do it? They're not just having kids just to
be
have
on
kids.
welfare.
They
No,
do
I'm
it
not
now.
disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing on that. I'm saying it's the same
because
thing.
they want to make them homeless.
And
They're
if you
using
got
them as a
the
utility
kids
to
are
make
used as a way of getting money.
money.
They're not just having
Because
kids to have
hey, look,
the more kids you have,
let's say she's sitting outside, right? If she's single lady just standing begging, nobody's gonna give her money. But hey, if she has a baby, this is like a marketing thing. You know what I mean? And homeless people in Addis Ababa
Well, then that's
actually,
worse
I don't know why we're picking on homeless because the homeless people in Ethiopia make more money than the median wage.
What exactly are we talking about now?
I actually don't even know.
What are you
Like,
No.
arguing?
I don't know, like. Well,
no.
off topic. Okay.
I'm just saying it's when you compare it to say, okay, they're late. That's the only thing I was responding to earlier. We're
No,
like,
she's
they
saying-
choose to be this way. Was that's the only thing I was.
I think in this country, I really.
That's
do.
what I'm saying.
It's
That's all.
that's how I
your
think.
opinion. Okay, all I was saying is I disagree with that. They don't choose that lifestyle. He said they're lazy and that's their choice.
No,
Being
it's-
lazy is a choice.
Okay,
Listen,
no, he's
being,
saying okay.
being,
We just agree
being
to
born
disagree.
poor is not a choice.
No, listen.
But what you do after you're born, you look at your father. He's selling drugs. If you're
But
following him,
that's all you
then
know.
and you know he's not doing well, and you got shot.
You can
then
say
you don't
that,
follow him anymore,
but
right?
you can say that because of your father. Okay, that's the same thing.
No,
with
but
me
that's the
saying-
realistic way to look at it. I mean, of course you can say, yeah, it is.
No.
Kid, you
Hold
don't
on.
have logic like that. You don't
Yeah.
just
No,
know
but they,
don't.
hey, once you turn
You guys are
14,
just being
15,
too nice to them.
yeah, honestly,
Being
like,
too nice.
listen, because listen, I like,
Yeah,
like
when you're a
I
kid,
know,
all you know is
I know
your
a girl.
parents.
logically.
I
when
know a
you're
girl, oh
10
boy.
years old, it's not like, oh, look at my dad.
No, okay, well, let's
My
just
dad
agree to
got shot because
disagree.
He's